everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's in the Tuber. Welcome back. If this is your seventh the Rookie Feds episode review, it's been a while. It's been a very weird airing pattern for the Rookie universe since we had 6 consecutive weeks of back-to-back, and then Rookie kind of went on its own for 3 weeks. Well, not 3 weeks. Actually, my bad. It went on for about a couple weeks. About a couple weeks, and then actually, no, I'm wrong. I think I did 5 episodes. Actually, I'm completely wrong. I'm completely wrong with my math. But point in proven, the Rookie went on for a while, and then the Rookie Feds took a break, and now the Rookie Feds is back on. There is no Rookie until December, and then we will return in 2023 because they've confirmed for the first time, and I'm sorry if I'm not mentioning this on the Rookie side of things. I will actually in December when we get back to it. For the first time, we are doing a Rookie Power Hour in 2023. That's why on Tuesday, where the Rookie first began back in 2019, the Rookie will return for more episodes of Season 5 and the Rookie Feds combining together for a new slot, a new programming time. The Rookie is moving to prime time, 8 p.m. Let's freaking go. I'm so freaking happy about that news. It is well-deserved of the Covenant spot. They know the DVR numbers plays a big factor since, again, these shows come out pretty late into the night. So not that people can watch at late night, like crazy people like myself. However, hopefully this will be a really good boost to see how much of the audience is going to be moving over, as well as afterwards, you'll get to see a brand new episode of the Rookie Fed. Now, what does it mean for us since we reviewed both of them and I actually was a little bit thankful about that? Well, it'll be some, we'll talk more about that in 2023 when we get closer to it, but most likely we will be probably doing the same thing we do with Walker, that the Rookie Feds review will now be posted a day later just to ease that out a little bit. And also we have a crossover episode. Like, I don't know when they meant it's a crossover episode event, but I'm not sure if it's going to be similar to the last one we got, or is it going to be a proper characters are interacting almost every other scene. We don't know yet. Obviously that'll be more along the lines of we'll probably get our first teases of it probably when Feds is wrapped up. Actually, not really. Probably we'll get our first tease of it when the Rookie goes on hiatus back in December. So we still have ways to go. But it's just expressing the news that it's a big thing. Hopefully, this is a good sign that the Rookie universe will be continuing into next year. But with everything going on in the TV landscape, I don't even expect anything anymore. Whatever happens, happens. Anywho, on this week's episode of the Rookie Feds, I will say that it was a very interesting angle, and it's normally the case with like the Rookie universe at this point where you start off the case of the week sometimes in the weirdest function possible, and then you go into like a much more serious direction. I literally did. I saw the promo before we went on hiatus, and then I was like, okay, that's kind of the angle that we're going to go with. We were going to get another Rookie cameo, and then that was going to be it. And the way the episode started was like, how do you lead this over here? And I'm still freaking confused. There's a lot of big question marks. There's a lot of empty holes there, but I don't really mind. This is a good episode of Feds overall. I think it was very nice to see more characters start to bond a little bit more. And this seems like to be the point where, like, you know, we've gotten so close with these characters. And again, I know 7 weeks isn't really that much time, especially for them. It's probably been like 2 or 3 months since they first became a team. So it's not really that much time, to be honest with you, but they've gone to this point where we're kind of developed to this point where, yeah, they could easily start now using the risk of the job and the risk of what they're doing, not only to impact the people they're trying to protect, but also the people within their relationships and everything. I feel like that was more of a testimony with this week's episode. Also, my throat, I don't know what's going on. If you're unaware, New York City has been hit with a very humongous weather shift. It's been a very warm fall, and now it's suddenly cold as winter, which I'm like, didn't we just have summer like last week, and now you know what, that's enough being said. I'm gonna just power through. Let's go for the Butcher Recap and talk about this week's episode of the Rookie Feds. So we begin with in the middle of the woods. For some reason, it's some guy with a GoPro, very shitty night vision quality, going out to look for the fabled Bigfoot. Of all things, I expected nothing from the Rookie universe. Like, yeah, we're gonna tackle Bigfoot is a thing in our universe. Let's get that out of the way right now. Well, does that mean the Finding Bigfoot team from the hit I think it was History or Discovery Channel show. Are they existing in this universe as well? It'd be pretty fun. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest, and this is a brief spoiler for the end of the episode. If they honestly are gonna set up this recurring like Bigfoot story, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have to mean anything. But the way they overacted in that last scene was like, I wouldn't be surprised. And then again, I don't think the Finding Bigfoot team isn't doing anything anymore on TV. So I'm like, you know what? Let's make fun of it. You know, it's all for the game of reality TV. So why the hell not? Anywho, he's looking for Bigfoot. Supposedly he has the proof to finally put an end to the myth. However, he gets scared off like a little coward, which again proves once and for all, if you see something that's supposed to be super elusive and you have a selfie mode on, why not turn around? It's a button. Again, I know it's a GoPro. It's not entirely like a cell phone or anything. Hell, I even think some cell phones are better quality than GoPros. It's just GoPros can handle the stress and the acclimation of certain environments. But either way, so he runs away. He briefly does get away, but however, he ends up presumably getting found by the Bigfoot and getting attacked by it and getting pulled away while he leaves his camera on the ground. Like, and again, like, okay, so the feds are actually going to go after Bigfoot this week. I was expecting more about this in like a later seasons of the show, because that's when you really get to like off the deep rails. I'm like, does this really make sense for the storyline? Not really, but we're kind of running out of ideas, and people can't say that we're not trying to be creative. So, we got to the next morning. Simone's getting ready for a day of work, and she's about to cook some breakfast for her and Cutter. But then she finds another very interesting and very handsome man. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome David Ramsey to the Rookie Universe, aka John Diggle from Arrow, and also participating on The Flash, DC Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, and Batwoman. He's been and also Superman Lois. He's been all over the CW spectrum. Hell, ironically, today is my when I'm recording this, I'm sorry, Sal. One of my co-hosts that I used to do videos with many moons ago. Sal. It's his birthday today, and we currently are still trying to figure out when the fuck we're gonna finish. Apologies for my language. Our every Arrow season review, and it's so funny that like, we've waited so long to finish that David Ramsey has appeared on another completely different universe, which I'm like, bro, this is so funny. And I haven't sent him this yet because I just been trying to get this review on the roll here. But like, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm just gonna send him a message like, dude, we better get on that A game. Like, once your birthday's over, we better get on that stuff right away soon, bro. Come on. Anyway. Where was I? Yeah, so he's there, and at first it's like kind of weird. Apparently, it's one of those like will they won't they things that Simone had in high school. Like, they definitely had the hots for each other. It's kind of unclear whether or not they did hook up or they did date. It's still left vague in that scene. But the only reason he's here is not for her; it's for Cutter. Apparently, he has become a professional financial advisor or a financial monitor, something in the world of finances that Cutter hired for him to watch over his many local businesses that he has all over the neighborhood. So he's just there for his I guess not really weekly or monthly visit, because, we've never seen him before. But anywho, he's there conducting some business. Simone doesn't really have time to chit-chat since she's getting called into work pretty urgently. So she leaves him for another time, which again, welcome to the universe. Okay, the Rookie Universe has been in a solid trend of bringing great people into the universe. You got Jay August Richard, you got Tom Arnold, and now you have David Ramsey, man. You also brought back Brandon J. McClure. But seriously, the Rookie Universe is becoming catered to me. Like, I don't even know who's next. I really don't know who's next. It's like, at this point, it's like, pick anyone from my vast history of watching TV shows. Just pick anyone, or even movies. Like, just pick anyone and let them join the Rookie Universe. Come on. It's literally like the most open universe. And like, we haven't even talked about the cameos we got during seasons 2 and 3. Like, come on. Anywho, with that being said, moving past onward to the next thing, we're over at the forest. The entire team's assembled there. They're getting the brief lowdown. A little funky business, as Garza's not entirely giving his true sources on how he got onto this assignment, but they're there. They're looking for a scientist that was pretty big into developing top state of the art secret, let's say weapons or just information for the USA to use. So they're presuming that another foreign enemy probably took him away for their own purposes. That's just the working theory. However, the other theory is that why is he here specifically in the woods if he's a weapons expert? Is that because he has a hobby of trying to find Bigfoot on his spare time, which he's been ridiculed for, which I'm not surprised. Let's be honest here, ladies and gentlemen. This is Earth. Regardless of the state it's in, it's a big freaking planet. We have barely explored the vast reaches of our ocean. I still believe Megalodon and mermaids exist. Hell, I'm even going to say Atlantis is still alive. It's all probably still down there. Let's be honest with you. We haven't even scratched the surface of the water, and so it's like, be understandable of that. Meanwhile, there's a lot of the forest area where like it's kind of impossible to map out the entire thing. Like, I've never understood how big the world is, or never understood how big even my own country is until literally like maybe a couple years ago. Like, it is that big. Like, I always thought in finding Bigfoot, ironically, we're still talking about this, is that we need to get an entire state worth of people. Go to a very decently common spot for Bigfoot sighting, and we just walk. We just walk straight line, in a full unison line. That would honestly be, again, will it be possible? Probably not, just to prove like the existence of one potential species. Yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. But I'm just saying it's a plausible theory that like if you only have like 50 people, they're fucking big ass behemoths. They can run away in like a matter of minutes. Like, there's no catching them. Like, you're just gonna get lucky. But anywho, this is why I don't go camping. I don't want to deal with Bigfoot. Like, he doesn't come to my neighborhood. I don't go to his neighborhood. That's basically all I'm gonna say. Anywho. Enough with all that background spiel. They're looking around, trying to gather some evidence. They do find the GoPro and the memory card, but it's sadly broken, so they cannot use any viable footage anytime soon. But they still pull it in for evidence, while they also find a big bundle of hair, which suspiciously looks like a Bigfoot hair. So Brendan and Laura head back to the office and go check that out, while Clark and Carter are going to go off and search up with the rest of the explorers to go find any sort of sign for the body, while Garza heads back to base. Simone's not really happy about this because like, she doesn't really want to be on Bigfoot duty, but she is. You know what? It's part of the job. I mean, eventually, one day in the future, we'll do aliens. I mean, if GTA 5 can get aliens, LA can get aliens. It's a probable thing. And also, this is exactly what I said about how like they're closing in on their bond. Is like literally Simone just slaps Carter, not like a slap, but like playfully slaps him, and it's just like they're so like not tight, but they're getting used to each other, and it's like, yeah, he's just totally accepting that. Obviously, he's not 100% comfortable with it, but he's just like, okay, it is what it is. Well, what can I do? So they're off looking, and this entire episode is just questioning like, is Bigfoot even real? We don't know, but they're looking around, they're questioning his motive, but however, it's still like, it's not likely he exists, but it's not also off the possibility he doesn't exist. Again, this is meant to be the episode that actually, we need to raise away Bigfoot awareness. He is real. We need to get that back on the record there. We need to renew finding Bigfoot for 5 more seasons and just have them just not even get close to it. It's like, it's like, what's the point of ordering a new season of the show? Like, there's no real point to it. It's like, it's the same thing with ghosts. We know ghosts exist, but people just refuse to believe it. I kid you not. Anywho. Where was I with that? Yeah, so they look around. They eventually find someone coming out of the woods. They assume for a brief. Oh, here we go. We're about to see Sasquatch. Let's go, boy. Let's go. But no, it's another random individual, however, that does have the scientist's backpack. He attempts to flee, but he eventually starts, having some sort of weird attack. So he passes out. They take him to the hospital. It turns out he's been succumbed to a lot of nuclear radiation. Not because he's been exposed to it directly, but to indirectly. So it was probably some airborne residue, and enough buildups caused him to have this sickness. So he's not feeling 100% well, to be honest with you. So he's not really able to give any questions right now. So once they realize that this could potentially be a nuclear-related incident, they call it in. They call into like just that division, and they head back over there to see if they can find the source. They do find the source. They find a bunch of bomb making equipment, all the ingredients for a nuclear bomb. They also find the scientist himself like completely dead. Like he's just dead on the floor. There's no even saving him. Meanwhile, back over at the headquarters, they're about to give out the evidence. However, it turns out to be Laura's birthday, and she's not really in the mood to celebrate it, which I'm like, yeah, that's a surprise. In the same year you had a divorce, a complete change in your life, a whole new team, whole new relationships, your first hookup. I mean, yeah, it's not really a reason to celebrate. But however, Brendan's like, you know what? It doesn't matter. You're still my TO. Well, not my TO, my trainee. Yeah, it's still the same thing. Yeah. You're still my TA. I'm gonna give you a present. It's just a pen. But she's like, yeah, it's just a pen. And he's like, no. Brendan's like, no. I got a legit surprise. I got to legit make sure this is coming out of right field, that you're not supposed to be predicting this. So you know what? You're not getting this as a present. I'm going to find you a brand new present that you can't guess. Which I'm like, Brandon, you're just making this harder than it seems to be. Give her the pen. A pen is literally the cheapest present on the planet. Okay, no, actually not. It's actually apparently the most exquisite and the most expensive of ballpoint pens. So this is a pretty good pen. But anywho, so he heads off to the evidence where he goes back to flirt with the French DNA lady. I forgot her name. I'm so bad with names. Keep me unblamed. And she's still a little nice to him. Like, oh yeah, it's been a while. They haven't really spoken since the last episode where they communicated with the whole bottle of wine. And he's like, yeah, I never drank it yet, but I will. Actually, no, I don't have the bottle of wine anymore. I just give it away to a friend. And she's like, absolutely not. This is disgraceful. Like, you basically gave away an expensive bottle of wine that I gave to you as a gift for a friend? Hell no. I'm back to hating you. Shut up. So she's off to go explore Bigfoot DNA. Which, again, if you were to tell me in this episode of Rookie Feds that we would be getting a lot of Bigfoot related topics, I would not believe you. But now I am now subject to believe that. Anywho, I want to say, yeah, so once they realize the severity of the radioactive threat, they call in a big ass, it's like all hands on deck with the Fed side. Like, they're bringing in everyone. They're even bringing in the LAPD, including our very own Sergeant Gray himself, ladies and gentlemen. And honestly, it's kind of explanatory now to why, like, why isn't Gray always involved in almost every other, like, major subline that doesn't involve him on the main show? And this kind of makes sense. Like, sometimes he just gotta get called over to another division since he is the head of Mid-Wilshire, that, yeah, he is going to be called on much more bigger duties. So, like, yeah, this totally explains it. I'm pretty sure he didn't tell anyone back home that, like, yeah, he's gonna go handle a nuclear threat, since that's not the parameters of his job, and that makes sense in my opinion. That does make sense. He's mainly there just, doing procedural stuff. He doesn't really have any sort of vibing off scenes with any one of the other Feds characters. Yeah, my throat is really feeling it today. I'm like getting dry so often. I apologize on that. Tracy's also there, i.e. Brandon Ralph's wife, Courtney Ford, which, again, I know she's her own person, but, like, they're both bonds to the hip over there. But yeah, she's back. She's helping lead the task force as well. To go find out. So, I believe they start combing through leads, and they're kind of trying to get a heads up on the guy that they found in the woods. They go back to check him on it. He knows nothing about it. He's just literally a squatter or a boondocks, which is, apparently, I have watched the Boondocks in terms of the show for many, many years growing up as a kid. I know, like, very worst time to be watching those types of shows, but it is my life. It is what it is. Anywho, yeah. So, what was I gonna go with that? Yeah. Anywho, so they go visit him, and he's like, yeah, I've been basically squatting in the woods, and apparently it's legal if you move spots every 2 weeks. So you can't stay in a permanent spot for more than 2 weeks, because then that means you will be charged a fine. But if you move around every 2 weeks, you technically got the legal loophole, which I'm like, it's a fair point. So, like, yeah, so he's, as long as he moves around, so I'm assuming he's been in the woods a long time, that, like, yeah, he's got the exposure. So whoever was there has been working on this project for a very long time for him to get this sort of exposure. And eventually the DNA sample that they got from the one of the things gets a hit. It's a very well-known eco-terrorist. And again, it's what I mean by that, it's like, it's a man fighting for trying to promote helping the climate, helping to make sure global warming doesn't dramatically increase even more, that sort of thing, by using very severe methods to raise his message. Which, again, death is not condoned. It doesn't matter. You know, bring other people to this. But anyhow. So they go try to find him, but however, even Gray asked the important question, like, why haven't y'all arrested him yet? And he's like, well, because he's off the grid. Like, he literally does not, they know his name because, they eventually ID'd him, but he's always, on the move, never staying in one place, never getting caught. So it's kind of hard to find someone that's like always like a ghost, basically. But he does have one living relative in LA, his son. So they go off to visit him, and he's like, oh, what did he do now? He's like, he's so used to it. It's like, it's so bad when a child, your own child, is basically like, oh, what do you do now? It's like, he's so used to it. And I feel bad. I feel bad for kids that are just so beaten down by what their parents do. And I just feel sorry for him. I really do. So yeah, so he doesn't get much information. Like they've been estranged for a while. They haven't really been talking a lot since, of course, he doesn't believe in anything what he does. But he did leave him a letter recently, which he hasn't opened up yet. Which when he opens it up, it does basically admit like, yeah, I'm about to do a whole big nuclear attack in L.A. You should get out of here while you can. Go to the woods and retreat. So then whatever he's attacking is a pretty big spot. So they look around trying to find any sort of area that might have any sort of like big sort of like what is something that's going to like really blow up in the news. So they find this developmental site. They go to evacuate it. They do find him in it with a trash bin with the bomb. Carter and Simone try to hold him down for a little bit while Gray goes in to shock him over to take him down, which works. So they arrest him, and they're like, okay, case is closed, everything's fine. But Garza's like, well, no, not yet. You still need to find out who provided him the parts and the material to make this bomb. So we're not quite sure and done yet. They get in contact with one semi-supplier. They're mainly in the business of detecting material, but they have to have the actual materials on site. So the machine has a basis for the actual detection. And he does admit, like, yeah, there was a break-in like a month ago, and like 750 whatever the quantity amount is for nuclear material was taken from the site. However, Carter explains to him like, well, there was only 350 in the bomb we found, so there's still a good 400 something left in another bomb. So they're like, scrap, they're screwed. So they're going to find a whole nother bomb, and they go meet up with him, and it's also realized that, like, yeah, these bombs are on a 3-hour timer, so they don't got that much time. They don't really got that much time. And he's refusing to cooperate. Even when they brought his son over, he doesn't budge. He's like, I don't care. The planet's first. I mean, when I eventually die, like, at least y'all will be going with me, which I'm like, yeah, this guy deserves to be in a psychiatric ward. I'm just being honest with you about that. Where do I go from there? Yeah, so, however, some choice words he says indicate that he's about to plant a bomb in an oil mining facility, which I'm not just surprised. Like, I gotta do my research, like, if that's really real. Like, apparently there's, like, hundreds of them all located in LA drilling up oil, which I'm like, damn. No wonder you guys are on no wonder you guys are gonna go into the ocean at some point. I hope it doesn't happen, but, like, we're just being realistic here. Like, come on, everyone, come on. But between the amount, they launched the airship trying to locate everything, and the rest of the team are going on the field to try and find some aspect of this, trying to find any sort of shred of proof during all this. Meanwhile, I forgot there's an entire other subplot where Simone is talking to David Ramsey's character about, like, while he was looking into the finances of some of Cutter's business, he did find one that was missing some money, which is pretty illicit. And the manager for that site, which is a bakery place, apparently is an ex-con. Well, actually, formerly incarcerated, as they like to use it. So he assumed that, okay, he probably is taking some money off the side. So I'm trying to let Cutter know about this, but he's denying the claims. And he says, like, if you bring this up again, like, we're done professionally. Simone tries to chime in, help him out. It doesn't really work at the end of the day. He saw his stubborn little ways of like, nope, I know what's going on. And if he tries to do this again, using you to get to me, he's not going to have a job anymore. So, yeah, that's pretty serious. And that's stubborn Carter for you. It really is. Also, meanwhile, on the whole birthday front, just at random times, you know, he's Brendan's just asking Laura just random questions about, yeah, like, I did this, and not that I did this, like, you know, what is your favorite, where do you want to go most of the world? She's like, Peru, which I'm like, hell freaking Luya. If you're unaware, I am Peruvian, which I'm like, let's freaking go. Again, this is what I'm saying. The Rookie universe is catering to me. This is like, it's like, y'all know, like, I'm one of the biggest supporters of the Rookie universe. I don't know why I'm touching my chest, but I'm a big proponent of this, and all I want to say is that, yes, I humbly accept the offership of, like, yes, mention my country. I'm very happy about it. Which Brandon's trying to use to, like, somehow crap the perfect gift. How does this entirely work? I really don't know, but, you know, it is what it is. He's doing the Brandon way of, like, trying to figure this all out. That's all he's trying to do. Anywho, I want to say after this point we get to, I want to say, yeah, so they're off in the field. Also in the meantime, I know that Carter's also working on some assignments for his son to kind of just support, share his support for school, and I forgot what he's doing, but it's some weird Carter thing he's doing, trying to keep himself in his son's life, even while he's going for this divorce. Simone, many times, like, knowing that this is a nuclear threat, is trying to, like, tell them we should warn everyone to like evacuate. And he's like, no, like doing a mass outcry, a mass hysteria is not going to solve the problem. It's only going to elevate things even worse. Like, yes, we will call when it's the absolute end of the wire that we are not going to survive this. But until then, we are going to still stay vigilant and hope to God we solve the case before anything happens. Simone briefly breaks when during her phone call with her dad, telling him that like, yeah, you need to get out of town. You need to get away from here. And you know, Carter's mad at her because this isn't something you do. Like, you have to follow protocol. Like, yes, even if it's your family, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, because it's the same thing. Cutter, like, Simone's like, at least my father. Okay, you can tell your father, but Cutter has all the community around him. Like, he's going to let the whole community know, like, yeah, we need to get out of town right now. It's word of mouth. Like, it gets around quickly. Eventually, the whole LA period is going to be under mass hysteria, or at least partially of it. So, you know, it's still the same thing. They do find the mining site, but it's with the bomb. But however, it's pretty close to the wire. Bomb squad's not going to get there in time. So Garza basically instructs Simone by the phone to try and cut this wire. And I love it every time they do this whole like, it's this wire. Maybe. And I'm like, bro, you're trying to kill these people. You really are. But thankfully, it's the right one. They stop the bomb. It's all good at the end of the day. The case is closed. Everything's all said and done. Garza and Tracy decide to have a little bit of settling their differences and decide to have some bourbon or whiskey. I don't know what that alcohol is. I'll ask my friend about it later. Have a little shots to celebrate, you know, even though they both still hate each other mildly. And, you know, Tracy still wants to get the program shut down. She's like, you know what? I'll take a double. You know what? Screw it. We're celebrating. We stopped the nuclear threat. Doesn't matter. I want to say, yeah. So, that night, Brendan goes to apologize to the DNA specialist about it, and he apologized that he never gave away the bottle of wine. It's just he's sober right now. He's been 247 days sober, and he's trying to keep that streak going because when he was, I'm assuming when he was an actor and he was drunk, he would hurt a lot of people, and he just needs to stay away with it, which again, I respect that of him. And she also is like, I apologize for accusing you. I get it. This isn't something you should tell me, but I appreciate you telling me. So you know what? We can talk about more things over coffee. And the way he says this morning, like, okay, I guess it's a date. And she's like, no, I'll let you know it's a date. Which I'm like, okay. You still got it in. You still got it in, Brendan. You still got it in. I give you credit there. Simone returns home. David Ramsey's character's on his way out. Apparently they patched things up. They made the understanding, so everything's all good. They're still having that playful banter, which again, it's a little weird for me. Again, I know Simone's breakup with her last girlfriend wasn't entirely fully amicable. It was still like, we wish, but we can't. So it's like kind of weird they're already introducing something similar. Again, it's not 100% of a vibe of like they're going to date, but they got something going on. So like you can't blame me for, you know, noticing that. She talks to her dad, and he did ask the guy in question about it. He admits that, yeah, I've been stealing money on the side, but not because for drugs or anything, because my mom needs insulin and it's pretty expensive and I didn't have anywhere to go, so I apologize. I will pay you back everything, and you know, everything's all fine right now. But Cutter's like telling her like, this is exactly what I mean. Like, you know, we don't need to involve the police on this. Yes, it's still considered a crime, but with enough explanation. Okay, it's depending on the situation, depending on the people, you know, it is what it is. You can't really stop it. But at least that's figured out and everything's all safe and sound. But we cut to the next morning where Brendan has actually found Laura the perfect gift, skydiving, and also the pen too. I'm just like, bro, I forgot. I was supposed to go skydiving in July during the hiatus, my hiatus from the show. And I was like, damn, I need to go skydiving at some point. It's cold right now, but like next year's the year. I guarantee that. Maybe, who knows? However, before the celebration can continue, Garza calls everyone back into the fishbowl, which I'm just like curious, like what's going on now? Like, are we gonna get off like a part 2? It's like, is there another eco-terrorist out there? No. It turns out the memory card is partially active. They got one video file off the memory card. It's, I think the afternoon before the scientist died, and he found Sasquatch's footprint, which I'm like, the way Cutter just stood up and he was like, is that Sasquatch? And I'm like, y'all can't like deny when I say like they are clearly setting something up here. There's absolutely no way that they're just gonna do that over dramatic scene for like you can't. Again, will the rookie fans answer the long running question: is Bigfoot real in the world? Who the hell knows? But you know what? If that's like a funny, recurring side bit, like Roger's golden poop on American Dad, you know what? I welcome it. I welcome it wholeheartedly. I'm totally down for that. But anyway, that was it for this week's episode of The Rookie Feds on a very weird but hilarious note. Again, I think this was just one of those like funny episodes. I feel like The Rookie Freds, it's finally earned to this point where, like, yes, this is a serious episode. It has this moment, but it's balanced out with the humor, with, like, just the levity that, of course, the Parent Show is known more often than not. And it's great to see that, that we can have some fun sometime and also trying to save the city. So, pretty plausible there. Again, I do like it that, like, the relationships are developing, especially now between Garza and Tracy, that they're at least starting to, like, acknowledge each other's existence and the team's existence by this point. Brendan and Laura, same with Simone and Clark. I think it's all going great so far. Welcoming David Rance to the universe. Oh my God, so beautiful. If he's recurring, I don't think he's recurring, but I hopefully he'll turn to like a Wesley where it's like he's just so damn likable. We'll just see him more often. Ironically, Wes is in next week's episode of The Rookie Fed, which I'm like, that's totally ironic and coincidental, but it is how the universe works. Sometimes it just works out in that favor. But it was great to see his face again. I mean, I've seen him earlier this year on Superman Lois, so it wasn't like I haven't seen him since 2020 when Arrow ended. But it's been a while. It's been a while, and also it's been a while since I've seen him be on a whole nother show that's not Arrowverse, not DC related. So it's pretty unique to see that. But anywho, with that being said, I'm giving this episode 2 thumbs up. I really loved it. I can't wait for more. So yeah, that's going to be it for this week. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of this week's episode of The Rookie Fed? Let's have a conversation down below and talk about it. And I believe that's going to do it for me today, everyone. So if you're unaware, this has been What's the Two from ActionX, reviewing every episode in the hopeful first season of The Rookie Feds. If you want to know what we're doing normally, What's the Two, besides our Rookie Feds episode reviews, we're currently doing Walker episode reviews, Walker Independence episode reviews, and Stargirl episode reviews each and every week after Brandon says on the CW. So go check them out there. However, if you don't care about The Rookie Feds, you're in luck. We'll be back next week with another brand new episode review, so stay tuned until then. Just a little sneak peek for the rest of this year's portion of episode reviews. After the last episode in November, I think we're going on hiatus until January. Well, that's when The Rookie Feds also comes back briefly in December, and then we'll both come back in January. So we only got 2 more weeks. 2 more episodes of The Rookie Feds for 2022 before we go on break. So we still have a little bit more time left with each other. But either way, I'll see y'all next week for the next episode review, which actually is my only episode review next week. Both Walkers and Stargirl are off the air next week for Thanksgiving break. Rookie was already on break long ago. So, and Feds is the only one producing a new episode next week. So I get to take a little bit of a vacation. Plus, also I got to go back on my other channel, which I'm kind of lacking on a little bit. It's been a very difficult time. It's been a very busy time here over on the world of ActionX and the Collection Compass. So, but again, this has been What's the Two from ActionX. Please subscribe to us on youtube.com/ActionX videos. Ring that bell for notification when our next episode review is live. Please also like, favorite, share this review if you want to. Ring the bell, as well as follow us on social media to stay up to date with any sort of updates we may have for either of our channels. But until we see each other again, for all you Feds out there, I'll see y'all next week for the next episode review. But until then, stay safe out there, be good to each other, and as always, peace out.